Welcome to the Evil TeddyBear podcast, the podcast where we review movies and interviews don't really go too well because, hey, it's me. Um, this week I actually have another friend on, which is pretty awesome because I like doing podcasts with my friends, and that's my goal for 2013, to try to get most of my friends on the podcast. Would you please introduce yourself, Matt Tam?
I am Ginger Andersen. I am a postmodern Viking.
Awesome. How is it with the horns that you have?
Oh, it's good. They're coming in pretty strong.
Awesome. How long have we known each other now? Like 2 years now it's been?
Something like that, at least.
Jeez.
At least.
I'm getting old.
Jay, you don't even need to tell me that. I'm pretty old myself.
Yeah, but at least you can look young forever, cause you got.
No. So years of partying and drinking really does age you. I could look a lot younger right now, but I don't because I've abused the shit out of myself over the years.
Yikes.
Yeah,
Where are you from originally?
I was born in Seoul, South Korea.
Oh.
And then I moved to the States when I was 3 years old. And I got planted in the most redneck-ass fucking place anyone could put a multicultural girl.
Wow.
Yeah. That is redneck as shit, dude. Like, I was, like, from Mars to those people.
Jeez. That's kind of sucky a little bit, because...
Yeah, it happens, but, I mean, a lot of people have to go through that, too. Not everybody has it easy.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I think growing up, a lot of people kind of take a lot of shit for, like, if you're really different, whether it's skin color wise or
anything for that matter. Yeah. Anything different. If you're just not like, whitewashed, pink complexion, middle class kid, then you're pretty much different.
Oh yeah, that's pretty crappy. Ugh.
Yeah. But you know what? Back then I was like totally miserable about everything that's like happened to me, and I was resentful. In fact, I was pretty angry about it up until through my early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the more I got to like meet people over the years, and when I was traveling, I realized that it's actually better that way, to realize what suffering is at a young age, because like people that I hear now that don't have to go through like a whole lot of hardships like that, or just being different, they're pretty fucking boring,
Yeah.
Like really boring. I mean, like really boring. Like I went on this like awful awkward date with this guy, and you totally wouldn't guess that I would ever go on a date with this particular person. Like he's just like your classic older white yuppie guy,
Mm-hmm.
And the date was going so horrible that I couldn't even drink to make him more entertaining.
Wow.
Yeah.
When you are so boring that the person across from you is starting to drink and you're still not exciting to them, that's when you say the date's over at some point.
Yeah. It was so bad. Like, in fact, it was so bad. Like, I think he knew, and he texted me. He was like, was it me, or was that date really awkward? I was like, yeah, that was really awkward. Please don't do it again. Thanks.
He's like, can you just give me just a little bit of a synopsis of the date so I can know what I did wrong? Just a little bit.
Or something. I think that's what he was wanting to know, but I was just like, I'm usually pretty like meticulous about what people say to me, like in conversations. Like, I will forget your name, but I will remember in detail the conversation that we have, no matter how small it is. But yeah, this guy, I couldn't even pay attention to what the hell he was saying. Like, I just kept on finding myself like zoning out. Like, and then he'd say something with a check question. He's like, "Oh, what do you think about that?" I'm like, "Oh, great. The fuck did he just say?" Like,
wow. I don't think I've ever been on I haven't been on too many dates in my life. Not really, because I'm not really like a...
Well, you're a late bloomer, man. Like, not everybody gets wild at a young age like myself. It's probably good for you that way. It probably keeps you looking young.
That or the chubby cheeks, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're still blooming, man. You're still blooming.
You know what I like about you? You're very spiritual, I feel, about
Yeah,
things.
yeah. And I like this quote about spirituality is like people who are scared of hell will believe in religion, right?
Mm-hmm.
People who have been to hell and don't want to go back are spiritual.
Hmm.
Just some perspective, like it's better finding out who your foundations are spiritually through life, I feel like, than having somebody tell you how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know, like everyone takes their own route,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
I feel like, I kind of agree with you there. I feel like if you've been through hell through your life or whatever, if like you've lived kind of a hellish kind of life, you're technically already in hell. You just got to find your way out of that hell.
Yeah, and when you do, I think that gives you just more of a solid foundation of the things you believe in, you know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not everybody makes it out.
Oh gosh, no, not at all.
Huh?
I mean, from time to time, I'll still deal with the hellish parts of my life, but I just try to push it all aside because I mean, I'm literally trying to do what I like doing right now.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, like, I don't know. I definitely usually just recommend everybody to just like take their time and like research everything. Don't sign up to the first thing that's being like, sold to you. Like, and then the more you like walk around and like read about like what everybody believes in, you realize that like it's just pretty much the same message. You just kind of choose what kind of flavor you want out of it.
Mhm.
It's just still the same damn ice cream. It's just like, do you want strawberry or chocolate?
Oh yeah. I don't know. Do I want strawberry or chocolate? I don't know. I'm more of a vanilla guy.
See, there you go. Some people are just into that.
I
Yeah.
like my ice cream like I like my woman. No, I'm kidding.
Oh shit. Someone likes the white women.
There's nothing wrong with mixing it up just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, just as long as they're good people, that's priceless.
Yeah. I don't know. I have a kind of a thing for redheads though.
Oh, you like the gingers.
Yeah, we'll get it. That's kind of weird.
It's like, oh wait, here it is, ginger.
So like rim shot. Cha-ching-ching. No,
Uh,
what so what you've had a couple of jobs throughout your life that I just for some reason just keep digging and finding out from you. Um I'm waiting for the part where you become a firewoman. So
a firewoman.
yeah, or fireman, firewoman, whatever, put out fire.
Oh, I didn't do that. I did some construction. That's probably one of the more manly jobs I've done.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's I can only take that in so many doses. I can only do like freelance jobs. I don't think I could really see myself becoming unionized for something like that because I feel like my brain rots when I work with those guys all day. Like don't get me wrong, I love dick and fart jokes just as much as the next like Kevin Smith fan. But yeah, my brain rots. I can't take like 50 anal jokes like all day every day.
Well,
uh,
you're gonna hate this show so much. No.
no. I mean, like it's bad. It's just like more about like we try to like gross each other out, and then when you're on a contest of grossing someone out like all the damn time, it just gets rotten, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like I can't have a real conversation with a normal person after a while. I'm just like I don't know how to talk to you without bringing up anal sex. Shit.
Wow. That's I don't we don't really talk much anal on this show. Not yet. We haven't got to that
See
point.
what I mean? See what I mean? Like you can't just bring that up all the time. Like not many people are cool with butt sex talk.
Yeah. Speaking of, what do you think about butt sex? No, I'm kidding.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I had a first time I really like I've had this I had the cam model on a couple
Oh
weeks back.
man, no, no. I've
What?
done I've done cam shit too. Fuck.
um,
No.
yeah, I had her on. It's kind of cool because I mean get to talk a lot. Like I got to find out basically what the line is between podcasting and cammering. It's pretty much the same thing, except I'm not taking off my shirt yet.
Yeah, kind of. I feel like it's not as much verbal masturbation, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, cam jobs suck. For real. Like that shit sucked. For one, I was stuck in a studio with the fucking dumbest females I've ever met in my life that listens to the most horrible music. You know? They're like the type of girls that would show up to Nickelback concerts, you know?
God, Nickelback.
Oh my god! And I'm like closed into a room with these women, and and then they start talking about like, oh, I'm gonna go on this date that this MySpace date or whatever, and I'm just like, don't you do cam shit right now, like online with guys, and then now you're going off to MySpace dates, and you're wondering why guys are still treating you like a whore? Yeah,
Yeah.
like, come on, like you should put some common sense together. You can't be finding guys like that, especially if that's your industry of like talking to random guys online anyway.
Yeah. She's actually she doesn't work at a studio. She has her own little setup at her house, and she's pretty private about all that stuff too. So she knows the line, like, to the point where she doesn't want meet any of these guys on the internet at all, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean that shit is definitely cool, but like I don't know, it's just really depressing just being in an environment like that. And it's funny because like you brought the cam girl thing because one of my homies, like Lex, he was talking about starting like Save the Cam Girls Foundation, where you just try to save all these webcam girls from like their life of destitute. I
Jeez.
I just feel like they're just naive right now, and they just need like some sort of guidance in their life. Like I just feel really bad.
Yeah, I've my friend Chris, who I do the other show with. I do another show with called Chasing Greedo, which you guys can find on the Podgods Network too now. Plug. Um, and he was actually talking about doing something with like some kind of like webcam girl special where we interview them and we try to get them to do like read our lines or some crap that we write out or something. I don't know. It probably won't happen.
You guys are
Most
smoking
likely.
weed when you thought of that idea, weren't you?
Well, he's all the way in Scotland, so it probably won't happen at all. Um, and me, I was like, okay, let's see knowing me, I like to see how things turn out, even if it's fucked up. So I'll be like, okay, let's see where this goes, just a little bit, you
Yeah,
know?
you say that now. You say that now. One of these days, it's gonna be the straw that breaks the camel's back with that shit.
Yeah.
And I used to be like that. Now people think I'm just like such an old lady, and I just don't do anything anymore, which is true. I don't do nearly as much shit as I used to, but I move so much. When people first meet me, they have no idea the shit that I've done in my life. And they go like, "Oh, are you gonna actually do this tonight?" I'm like, "No, I've probably done that 50 million times. Like, I don't know, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, like, let it go."
It's like, I've been there already. Get out of here. Get out of
Yeah,
here, you kid.
I'm such a grumpy old man. Like, fucking kids don't know what the hell you're talking about. I've done that shit.
Grumpy Old Men 3, the Ginger Edition. Uh,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, when I first met you, of course, I had no idea what the hell you've been through at all.
Yeah, a lot of people don't, and it's kind of weird. It's just because I move around so much. I
Yeah.
feel.
And then, like, let's see, if I remember correctly, I just kind of wandered in, wondering why everybody was dressed in costume. And this is when Ponder Wander was open.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's right.
Yeah, and I had
I
nothing.
said I come in. I was like, oh shit, stay here. I don't know you, but stay here. You don't
Yeah.
need to buy nothing. I'm just stoked you're here.
But like I didn't really, but I feel like we didn't really hang out too much when you were down here.
Yeah.
But I felt like we got to know each other more when you moved moved away, which is kind of weird because I've never actually got to know somebody like when they're far away. Are you okay? Can you handle it?
Oh yeah. Whew. Yeah.
Um, so I mean that was it's been pretty cool trying to getting to know you a lot more and becoming more of a friend to you than anything, you know.
Yeah. Sometimes it happens that way. I have friends that I've become closer at long distances than like when I used to be in the same city. Well, I think it also with moving so much, it's kind of cool because you realize who your real friends are when you leave a place.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's another thing a lot of people are really naive with. It's just like how often and how much people really use each other.
Oh gosh.
They really do. It's crazy. It's like, oh yeah, you were totally up my butt when I lived there because I had access to this shit, but now that I moved, you don't give two fucks about me, you know?
Yeah, for me when I moved a lot when I was younger. New York, Georgia, Colorado, all over just a bit. And back then, of course, when you're moving, it's kind of hard to keep a friend because, I mean, first of all, internet wasn't like it was today at all. There's no Facebook, no MySpace, none of that crap, And so it was kind of hard it was definitely kind of hard for me to keep a friend. But like when all the internet stuff, all this pretty much happened, it's became easier. Definitely you find out who kind of is your true friend and who's not, like who remembers you, who doesn't, pretty much.
Keeps up with you, yeah. Who keeps up with you? That's another thing.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of people from high school that I mean I have on Facebook, but I rarely even talk to. You know?
Yeah, yeah. I don't even talk to those people. I keep those people on a list of like days that I feel kind of like depressed or something about myself. Then I look at all my high school classmates and then I feel better.
Yeah, it's so fucking weird. It's still weird to me. I mean, I know we're all older, getting older and whatnot, but it's like you see this person, it's like you're getting married and having a child, and I used to hang out with you and we used to talk shit and smoke weed together.
Oh, well, I mean, no, that's okay. Whatever. That shit happens.
I don't know, that might just be me, I think.
For me, it's more like, oh man, this bitch used to tell me I was fat and ugly in school. Look at her, fat ass bitch.
Yeah.
I do that.
Screaming at your computer screen.
That's what I think when I look at my classmates. I was a loner. Can you tell?
Yeah. Oh no, I had no idea. Oh my gosh, shocking news.
Shocking, so shocking.
I know. I'm still a bit of a loner. Like I'll go to a party or something or a house party. I'll go sit by myself. I don't mind.
Oh no, I'm just so socially awkward. Like, I'm a lot better now these days because I have to be, or like because of like different types of jobs that I've had forces me to be more of a social person. But if I didn't have jobs like that I had, I would not be nearly as sociable as I am now.
Yeah.
Yeah. In high school, you probably would have thought I was a mute. I didn't say shit to nobody.
Wow. That's for me. At least in high school, I did keep to myself because I would wear headphones all the time. I still wear headphones all the time. I'm wearing headphones right now. So.
I mean, we all got our thing, man.
Yeah.
We all got our thing.
Speaking of jobs, what can again, speaking of jobs,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that well, when I first met you, a couple times, I had no idea you did tattoo modeling.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't really just tell people about that. so much. I think like that's worked into a bad favor for me,
Mm.
tattoo modeling. Because to tell you the truth, when people see those pictures of me, they think I'm a certain type of person automatically, and I'm totally not at all the
Like,
person they ever think I am.
like, what kind of person do you think that you do you think that they think you are?
A lot of things that I'm not. I mean, like a lot of things that I'm not. I mean, um, some people might think that I'm kind of slutty, or maybe I have daddy issues, or like I'm an attention whore, or just mean, or just like full of myself. I mean, I guess it is pretentious to like be modeling or even consider yourself as a model. There's a fine line of like what kind of modeling you are. I mean, I still consider myself like an amateur model.
Hmm.
Even though I've done like uh, international like publications, I still don't consider myself a professional model.
Yeah, you were on fucking Inked magazine. The only time I picked that up, Inked magazine, was when Pharrell Williams was on that, and he's pretty big.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know that shit was crazy, and I was their premiere video girl too. I was the first one that they did a video of, and I was the first one that they didn't do a go see for, because
Hmm.
normally before there's a inked girl that usually gets like the editorial spread, like she usually has to go into the office before even being approved for a shoot.
Wow,
Yeah,
it's kind of like
it's
casting
weird.
call.
Yeah. And I mean, it's even like worked against me with dating, because like a lot of girls are, they don't really understand that. Like from other girls, I get a lot of like grief where they automatically think I'm a certain way too, and they it's just bad, man. Like they just think I'm just like not a good person from the modeling thing.
No, you're a
Like,
good person.
she gets naked on the internet. Fuck that bitch. Or like, I don't trust her around my man, or I don't do this. Blah blah blah. Blah. I mean, that's just it's just sad, And I've even had guys treat me, a certain way that's not acceptable to most girls,
Hmm.
because they're like, oh yeah, she's like this tattoo model, so I'm just gonna treat her like a piece of garbage because she probably has her options open, or maybe they're intimidated about the fact that like I might know like a lot of people, so like they just automatically put me in this category that's not a relationship at all, and that's why I'm so thankful about my husband, because he had no idea that I was a tattoo model before even meeting me,
Yeah.
and he's even told me before, like he was just like, if I would have known who you are on the internet before meeting you, I definitely probably wouldn't have like taken you seriously.
And you're like, internet? What's the internet?
Right? I'm like the most like primitive person ever. I'm just like, how do you work this thing? I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
just okay. You can't hashtag that. Okay, never mind. Just kidding.
Hashtag funny. Um, I don't know. I've gotten used to Twitter so much. Like, you can probably look on Facebook, and of course, I have it hooked up on Facebook through Facebook, and you can see me just hashtagging things or just like rows are probably a thing, which I'm pretty I like. If that's happening to you, I'm sorry, but I mean, I gotta promote sometimes.
He's on Instagram.
Yeah. Oh, he is.
What?
What's on Instagram?
No, I hashtag the shit out of Instagram.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, true. You take a lot of pictures on Instagrams though too. Like I think you have more than I do. I think you have more followers on Instagram, I think, than I do.
Well, I mean, like, my predominant thing is like a lot of visual things, whether it's like modeling or illustrating or art or even like industrial perspective. Like, I'm just like really into visual stuff.
Yeah. Which by the way, like that's one of the things I love about you is your artwork. It's like I literally fell in love with your artwork, which is awesome. Cause I mean I was like one day I'm gonna buy a ginger piece or Ginzilla piece as they you have your little
Ginzilla.
Ginzilla. Where did that come from?
I just think it sounds cool, man. I've like been holding on to this name for quite a long time now.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, Ginzilla's good. I'm gonna use that.
That's kind of like me with this show, because originally the name for this show was supposed to be my production company when I wanted to do film, and then it was supposed to be my production company when I wanted to do music.
It's
So
good to have an alter ego. It's good to have alter ego. Like I feel like my internet personality is probably different than my real life personality sometimes.
yeah,
You
uh,
know.
it's I try to keep a balance on that stuff. Like I try to be truthful about things, but not too truthful when it comes to the internet, because I don't.
Yeah, I'm not personable online, because I don't like giving out certain amounts of information, not only for safety reasons, but, just personal reasons as well.
Yeah, if it's like a business, if it's like I want to get somebody on the show or we got to keep. I want to keep in contact with other podcasters or something. I'll send out my email, because I have an email address just for that, and I have my own personal email for separate, you know.
Yeah,
So
you got to. Because there's some crazy people, man. Like, there's some people on the internet that are totally able to connect the dots very fast
true.
about all of my aliases that I have. Because I don't just have Ginzilla. I sometimes I use my real name, and sometimes I also use my Suicide Girl's name.
Which is
Akuma.
Akuma. Where'd that one come from?
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter. Awesome. You don't
Demon, man. Using that Dark Hados, son.
Hadouken.
See? Can't help it.
I was watching. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but on YouTube, there's a channel called Screw Attack, or there's a website called ScrewAttack.com. And what they do is these death battles where they'll put together characters from video games or anime or cartoons, and see who can survive. One of the fights they had was, I forgot his name. One of the most powerful guys on Street Fighter, and he has like red hair, red eyes. I forgot his name. But he was facing Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
And so, of course, Shang Tsung can transform or whatever,
Combat's more like your game than it was mine. I didn't really fuck with Mortal Kombat as I was more of a Street Fighter kid.
Well, I mean, I like Street Fighter more than I did like Mortal Kombat, because Mortal Kombat, you gotta do all sorts of shit in order to get an awesome fatality, basically.
Yeah, I mean, but you also gotta do like crazy shit to get like Akuma's Raging Demon.
Yeah, that might have been it. That might have been the guy who fought Akuma. That fought Shang Tsung. I'm not sure. I gotta rewatch it again, but they're pretty awesome. But they basically use the stats of each character and see who would win in a fight. Like they had a Spider-Man versus Batman one, and Spider-Man won because Spider-Man has all that strength running through his body, basically. Yeah, and he's quick.
Yeah, in a video game, sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
in a video game.
Oh, so is that a challenge for the real Batman and Spider-Man to come out and fight? Not in a video game? No.
DC Marvel will never fucking do that shit.
No, well, technically they've already done it with the Justice League versus the Avengers long time ago in comic book form.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can see how much of a nerd I am.
I still like the team superhero thing. I'm sorry. I just don't really like that. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. There's been like some really great issues that come out for all that stuff, but like, I just usually like hearing about like a solo superhero story.
Yeah.
I'm just more into that.
Yeah, I really just.
I feel like my emotions are being spread everywhere.
It's like I can't care about this person.
Huh?
It's like I can't care about this person.
It's like, because now I care about this person. Like, fuck. Who am I rooting for? Who's the hero?
I don't know. It just like I know, like I haven't been reading comic books quite lately. Like I still have my old issues or whatever. I have my old graphic novels. But I tried to keep up with the new Spider-Man. They have Ultimate Spider-Man, which they killed off Peter Parker.
Oh, I got my ex-boyfriend Ultimate Spider-Man #1 variant cover for Christmas one year.
Oh, lucky bastard.
Yeah, good. Don't tell me I wasn't a good girlfriend.
Well,
Don't tell me.
well, you've never been my girlfriend, so how can I know that?
I'm just
God.
saying. Just saying. What girl would normally give their guy something like that?
Not a normal girl unless she's really like nerdy.
Exactly.
And I know a lot of nerd girls, so
Yeah. Only a nerdy girl would do something like that. See, that's another thing that people don't realize about the fact that I do tattoo modeling or whatever. They would have no idea that I'm a complete dork. You know?
yeah. Yeah. I get called a dork sometimes, but kind of just like when I speak or whatever, and it doesn't make sense. People are like, "God, you're such a dork."
Yeah, I mean it happens. Like I've had moments like that before where I get really into like talking about something I'm interested in and I get a little detailed and then usually I usually see the expression on the other person's face and they're just totally lost after the first sentence.
Wow.
Like, oh fuck. I am a nerd. Like I have issues.
It's like I broke you.
People.
I don't know. The last time I was around like a lot of nerds, and I'm not counting Dragon Con this year because we didn't really go. We just hung out, pretty much, just walked
Con
around.
doesn't really count.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really count.
But I mean, I think it kind of counts. So, like, I went to an anime. I worked in Anime Con, which was pretty fun, except for the fact that I had to spend 3 nights in the first video room because I didn't have a hotel room.
Yeah.
And I had to wash up in the bathroom.
Oh, I mean that happens.
Yeah. I was like, God, they're not paying me for this. I could just go home and come back or whatever. But I just felt like it was like a honorable kind of thing to get, not to leave the premises a bit. But but the weirdest thing that I've seen there, of course, was the hentai room, and I had to actually work that room. I had to work door for that room, which was kind of weird.
Oh, I bet you met some real classy people.
I was like, these people are like, there was people there that were quite younger than me, and of course, 18. They were like, 18 and up kind of thing.
They're curious.
Yeah. And I'm like, and as they're going in, I'm checking IDs. I'm like, okay, you can go in or whatever. I peek in every once in a while. You see a tentacle going to somebody, and I'm like, holy shit, and then just close the door.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fucking weird.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of weird Japanese porn out there for sure. I haven't found too many where the girls aren't crying. I'd like to find that one.
Yeah, it's
That's
kind of
what I want to see. Like, show me the Japanese porn where the girl isn't crying, please.
true. But they always look like they're fucking crying on that one. Every one of them.
All Japanese porn in general. Like, think about it. Seriously.
Oh my God, you're right. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I haven't seen one Japanese porn where the girl isn't crying.
Jeez, and it's kind of hard to. It's kind of hard. Yeah, it's kind of hard to masturbate when you're seeing a crying girl.
Yeah, or a girl resisting, going like, don't do that, or she's making like little girl sounds. Like, that's really bizarre to me.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, she's totally hot, but she just doesn't look like she's into it.
She's like, I'm doing it for the money. Doing it for the money. Just remember the money.
But I don't know. Like, my favorite porns are the ones where like the girl like legitimately, like, not the fake porn star shit, but I'm talking legitimately looks like she's having a great time.
So like amateur porn.
Not even amateur porn all the time, because sometimes that's really annoying.
Yeah.
Like the way the girl will like moan or whatever. I'm like, who fucking sounds like that when they're getting fucked? Like, seriously, who makes that sound? Because that's just annoying.
Yeah.
Like, but like the girls that look like they're legitimately like getting off or having a good time, like, I think that's really hot. Like, I'm just like, okay, that's cool. Like, apparently this is a really good thing happening, and that's great. You
Yeah,
know.
I tend to lean towards the plot oriented porn because if I don't want to watch the porn
Oh, you like
part,
the story?
I mean, I guess, I mean, it depends if it's like a parody or something, you know?
Oh man, horror porn. Now that shit's so fun. Like I will watch a story to a porn for some horror porn.
Really, what's like horror porn? What is
Like Burning Angel does like some horror porn where let's say you remember the Reanimator?
Yes.
They've done the Repenetrator.
I like Burning Angel. I saw
Did you see Repenetrator?
no, but I just saw the Evil Dead parody they did.
Oh, they did that one and the XX Exorcist.
Oh, that thing I remember watching that like a couple years back, but uh,
Yeah,
I was like, wow, this is some fucked up shit. It's kind of
but it was hilarious, wasn't it?
yeah, it was.
It was good. Like especially like the whole pea soup thing that was going on.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, I was just like, did that just shoot out of her? Okay, just checking.
I was like, I don't know
I
where to
guess
be
that's safe.
scared. I was like, I don't know whether to be scared or to get off on this. I'm,
Yeah, me too. I was like, I don't know whether to laugh or like masturbate. It's like, I guess this is kind of hot, but it's also really bizarre and funny.
I don't know. I feel like when people are turned on pretty much about they're turned on about something, really turned on about something, they start
Yeah.
getting weird and start like if it's just like watching fucking porn or something, they start watching some weird ass shit, you know?
Yeah.
I've
Some people do.
yeah, I've had people talk to me like online about fucking animal porn and I'm like, really?
Was it one guy, one horse?
Oh,
That was pretty crazy.
no, but it's like it's not even that. It's like talking about their own dogs. I'm like, really? Why?
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah,
disgusting.
yeah. That's not cool.
No. It's like this is something that you brought into your home that
There was this interview with a guy on NPR that is totally into that,
gosh.
and when he was like describing when he was asked something like, "Oh, how did you come to figure out that you wanted a relationship with your dog?" You know, and he was like, "Well, I just felt like it was the natural progression." I was like, "Really? That was the natural progression that you felt inside you?" But also in the same notion though, this is what I also like to call Darwinism,
Mm-hmm.
and this is how people like this are dying off. Thank God they are not procreating.
God.
Yeah. So that's the only optimistic thing I could really think of about all of that.
Yeah. Hold on for a second. What? Hey, I'm doing a show, guys. No, out. Every show, my little sister comes in here. All right, what are you doing?
Well, of course, that's what siblings do.
I'm still sending her to you.
Okay, I'll try to make a deal out in Mexico.
All right, I'll probably cut this part out.
No, 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 wait, no, wait, no, wait.
No, but yeah, and that whole animal thing just kind of creeps me the fuck out. That and when guys like when I was watching, way back then, I'm not sure if they still do it now. Law and Order, definitely when that was on, they would always cover like the pedophile cases and whatnot, and like them looking at the kids porn and shit like that. I'm like,
It's because they got touched when they were little boys.
I know. It's just like, okay, here's what you should do with those people. You should, even if they touch a little girl, even if they don't fucking look at them like that, you should take their dick and cut it off. I mean, that's basically how I feel. Just a
Yeah,
little bit.
castrate. Yeah, totally.
I don't know. I was listening to
I don't
Smodcast.
know. I just think a long tortured death is great.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like a long time ago, when I used to live in South Carolina, like there was this girl that used to hang out at my job, and I used to work at like a body jewelry spot, and she was like maybe like 12 years old, and she used to like hang out in my booth all the time. And then like I became close to the family. I ended up hiring like her brother-in-law or some shit like that, and I went over there and I was like, hey, what's wrong with her? Where's she been? I haven't seen her in a while. And she's like, oh, well, she got a cold and had to go to the hospital. I was like, a cold? What? And then they were like, yeah, she has AIDS. I was like, oh. And I was like, how did that happen? Like, how does a 11-year-old girl have, AIDS? And when the parents look clearly healthy, And they told me that her grandfather molested her and gave it to her.
Jeez. That's
Never in my life, Corey, seriously, like never in my life have I ever wanted to kill somebody, but that moment I did.
Oh my gosh,
I was like, the first thing I asked, I was like, where is he? Where is he? Because he's gonna die. Like I just don't understand how you could touch anything innocent like that. It just goes back to that whole Japanese porn shit. Like to me, I'm just like, yo, like these girls clearly come off like this innocent thing going on. Like, is this like some sort of secret desire that men really have deep down that they just want to like deflower something?
Don't ask me. Shit.
This is like some deep psychological shit, I know, but like it's just like I sometimes wonder like deep down does like is that something in a man that makes him want to do that? Whether he consciously agrees that that's fucked up or not, something deep down in him, like I feel like it's erotic to him.
I also think it's pretty much like a dominance thing. It's like this person is much weaker than you that you're trying to get into or whatever. And so basically if you do get into that person, it's kind of it's basically comes up to dominance. That's what I feel, because you're stronger than the person, they can't fight back.
Yeah, I mean, just fucking play some video games or some shit and get good at it. Don't fucking fondle like some little kids. If you got dominance issues, like get good at something and dominate at that. Like don't fucking ruin someone's life. That's just me. But in the other notion, like it's like those are like truly weak people themselves that they have to do something like that.
Oh yeah.
Because like if anything that I know, a lot of financial guys on Wall Street here in the city, a lot of them go to dungeons all the time. Like these rich, wealthy, powerful men pay so much money to get dominated by women.
Jesus Christ.
It's just funny how that is. It's just like with the whole dominance thing. Like sometimes if you're just really powerful in your life, you feel like you have to be dominated. So maybe it's like the opposite for people who feel really weak in their life, that they have to dominate something else.
Yeah, I can kind of see that just a little bit because they get too high up on the high horse. They need to be knocked down just a little. But I mean, there's a better way to do it, guys.
Yeah, totally. I actually went in for a dominatrix session for my friend, and that shit was fucking mad weird. It's just amazing what people have to go through to achieve a really good orgasm. That is my statement for that.
Wow.
It is amazing what people will pay for to achieve an orgasm.
Oh my gosh.
What the fuck, dude? Seriously.
People are so weird.
That was like straight out of Pulp Fiction shit, man. And what the amazing part is, I think like everything that was happening was just so shocking that I was completely cool the whole time, and I totally went through the motions, calmly. I even made jokes. But afterwards, I think that's when it hit me, and I was just like, what the fuck just happened to me? Seriously, what the fuck just happened?
My gosh. At some point, I would have been like, when is Bruce Willis coming in to save me with his samurai sword?
I'm doing fucked up shit to somebody else. That's the thing. I'm the one that's doing fucked up shit.
Oh, okay. Then Bruce Willis, no. Bad.
And it was voluntary for that guy.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
Guys,
if I ever ask for anything like that, you smack the hell out of me, and without the rings, please.
isn't that what you want if you wanted to be dominated? Is like somebody to smack you anyway?
I guess I don't want to be dominated then.
Yeah.
I am normal. No. Uh,
Yeah. No, I totally thought I was like, man, I used to think I was into some kinky shit, you know? But after that night, I was just like, dude, I am so normal. I am so normal and healthy. It's ridiculous.
yeah, I would have been like, I'm done. I'm done for the summer. Bye.
I couldn't even think of having sexual relations for like a week after that happened. I was like, how the fuck is that? Wow, did that happen? Like, wow.
Yeah, I think.
So, do you want to know what went down?
Oh yes, yes.
Okay, so this dude is like going in for like an all-nighter. So there's like a hotel room rented out for this guy. And so I come at the time she asked me to. And when I came up, I noticed that when I walked in, she put her finger on her mouth and she was like, shh. I was like, oh my God, that's the first sign that this is going to be bad when someone does shh at you when you're walking into a room, you know? And this guy's laying on the bed on his back. He's blindfolded and she is spitting into his mouth.
Oh,
And then I'm spitting into his mouth without him knowing. And then we ash our cigarettes into his mouth, right?
ow.
Okay, so this is how it starts, okay? And then surprise slave number 2 comes in, and I was like, wow, she didn't even tell me about surprise slave number 2. So like, fuck. And so this guy comes in, and she instructs him to get naked, and without this guy knowing, you know, the guy on the bed, and then he gets surprise slave number 2 to fuck slave number 1 in the mouth. It's on the bed, dude. I straight saw 2 old men like totally doing some mad random shit, you know. Like, so I'm seeing this dude getting fucked in the mouth, and he gets off. Then he leaves, and then he gets unblindfolded. Then she instructs him to like rub my feet. So this happens, and then we go out for dinner. Which this is the funny part. We go out for dinner, as a break, I guess, and it's a totally normal dinner. We're having like a normal conversation, talking about recent events, politics, whatever. And then we go back into the hotel room. And he gets undressed, and this dude is like wearing women's pantyhose, and his crotch was cut out, and his wiener was hanging out. And then we put, like those old vintage like dental gear things that like jam your mouth wide open. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, we put that in his mouth. So his mouth is like jammed wide open, and then he's also blindfolded, and then wrapped in saran wrap with his nipples cut out. Okay, you getting all this?
Yeah, I'm getting it.
Okay, so then he lays on the bed, and we're spitting into his mouth again, and then she gives me forceps, and she instructs me to nipple torture him, and I do. I torture his nipples, and then she pulls out the needles. So she proceeds to pierce his nipples, and then she moves down and pierced his dick like 4 times with these needles.
Hold on for a second.
This is like one of those medical needles that you could like kind of like leave in the skin when you puncture through it, So there's like 4 needles on his dick and 2 needles on his nipples. So I'm nipple torturing him, and then she's like cock and ball torturing him.
Oh my God, you do not want to see the face I'm making right now. It's just like,
And then get this. She then instructs him to jerk off. And he does, with the needles in his dick, But man, that shit is like, kind of out there for me. personally, I don't want to get needles jammed into myself necessarily, but I've never seen anybody get off so hard in my life. Seriously.
Jesus Christ.
Seriously. I was kind of like, some little fucked up part of me was kind of jealous. I was like, man, that dude totally got off like a rock. That must be nice. But goddamn, he took a long way to get there. That's for sure.
Dude's a champ.
Right?
Yeah.
Fuck, man. That shit blew my mind.
Yeah, I'd be happy with just regular sex.
Sex is great. I just don't. I don't want to have anything impaled into me other than penis. Like that's about all I really care about. And I don't have daddy issues. I don't need to be punched during sex or something. It's okay. I'm good without getting punched.
If you get punched, it's like, okay, what the fuck did I do? What the hell?
Right? No, for real. Like I've noticed like some really big dudes that I've like slept with before in the past. They love to get like punched in the face during sex. And I'm like, you promise you don't punch back, right? I'm like, okay, guess I'll do that. Fucking weirdo. I think the weirdest thing is like having my armpit licked randomly during sex. Dude straight went for it. He just like full force like tongued my armpit. What? And I was like, whoa. Yeah, exactly. And then after it happened, it was kind of like one of those moments where you walk into two people having sex, like awkwardly.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like that with the armpit thing. I was just like, whoa. But I'm not saying sorry, like this dude should be saying sorry. The fuck was that?
Just wait for it. I mean, you gotta give him credit.
About this wasn't on your brochure, There's nothing about armpits anywhere in our dialogue, and I don't know how you think that this is a common thing, but it's not. Yeah. Even foot fetishes are probably a little bit more common than that,
That's the norm of all that shit. Shit.
Yeah, at least that's the norm, And I was like, armpit. And this dude was a chef, man, too. What the fuck? How do you want to taste my armpit?
Maybe he's tired of tasting food.
Maybe. Which I'm not gonna say who it is, but it's a Food Network chef.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's on the Food Network a lot. So, yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
Ginger, you and your craziness adventures. No.
Yeah, I'm done with that shit. I'm married now. I'm good. I'm fucking done. Like, I don't need to go on adventures like that anymore. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yay for no awkward sex, man.
That's true.
You find somebody solid that's good to you and shit ain't awkward, like just fucking hold it down. Hold it down.
Yeah, I really don't feel like I'm gonna have that in no time soon.
Yeah, that's because you say so. You can will shit into your life, man. I totally willed a customer to come inside the door. He was about to walk off, and I was saying it so strongly mentally, and I even said it under my breath, like with the other guy in the back. I was just like, give me your plastic. Give me your fucking plastic. And then he turned around and walked inside the store. I was like, holy shit, that worked.
Well, wouldn't it be fucked up if you kept saying that and he just gave you a plastic ring?
No. I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
I was thinking money was on my mind. I was just like, come on, give me this last minute stuff. Because we stayed open late today. So I wanted something to show for that. I was like, man, if I stayed open like an hour or two later than I expected, I should at least have a last minute sale somewhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Good morale.
Definitely. Are you guys gonna stay open late? Well, do you want to give out where you work or no?
It's all right. It's all right. I usually leave that for like the super obsessed fans, to figure everything out and connect the dots.
Okay.
Because that happens. And usually those are the ones that, make it.
It's like I've made it to to Willy Wonka's factory because I'm super obsessed with Ginger. God, if that was if that
Like, there's like several tattoos of my face on people.
where?
Exactly. No, one on the forearm, one on the chest. I think someone's putting one on the calf of his leg, maybe, or something. But it's just random.
Yeah.
One Italian dude, some dude in France, and then like Smooth in that local vagrant in East Atlanta.
Mhm.
He has my face on him, and and a hardcore fan of mine that I've had since like '07. And he tattooed my face on him from my very first like photo set I released.
Cool. I've got no tattoos of you on me, so I'm
Hey,
just
that's okay, man.
I'm just
That's okay.
happy being your friend.
Yeah, some people do, but I mean, I'm not really like so much friends with any of these people.
Yeah.
It's really flattering, honestly. It's really flattering that someone wants to remember you.
Yeah.
You know, it's good. It feels good. Some people are like, isn't that weird? I'm like, no, I think it's flattering.
Yeah, I
It's
think
very
that
flattering.
I think that's what, but I think that's what like us as kind of humans want a bit too. We want to be remembered. Like when we leave this world, we don't want people to forget us. You know?
Yeah, and that's I take it as a nice thing. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. I appreciate that you would consider like having my image on you. That's cool. Just as long as not like on your thigh, conveniently located next to your dick when you're jerking off.
Looking down at it.
Yeah, that would be cool. Can you just like not do that? That's cool.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
kind of
yeah,
it's kind of weird too.
yeah, it can be. It can be
Yeah.
weird.
I think you posted this. I saw a really crappy shot video for Ponder Wander starring our favorite friend Oscar.
Oh yeah, yeah.
uh,
I was on my phone. It was dark at night, and then like all of a sudden, like Oscar was just like going off for like a while. I was like, man, I'm just gonna fucking just turn this thing on, and maybe it'll record something. Whatever.
yeah. I don't know. He was up there like a couple months ago, which I didn't know. I was like, huh, because I mean I rarely see Oscar because I'm in Fairburn now.
Oh, okay, okay.
Um, but like when I do, like the last time I saw Oscar was the night we recorded that thing that I sent you.
Yeah.
He's all bearded up and stuff, and I think it was just the whole November don't shave thing or whatever.
Yeah, he has phases.
Yeah, Oscar's a very interesting person. I want to get him on a show at some point,
Oh yeah,
which
yeah, yeah.
which I feel like
It's a one-man party, a one-man show.
that's what I said.
Dirty Martinez.
That's what I say. Um, but it's definitely he's definitely one of the most interesting persons. And I think there was another video I saw. I'm not sure if I'm pretty sure it was this. So I think you shot it again. I think it was him talking about something in someone's apartment. I think I'm not sure if it was yours.
Yeah.
I forgot because it's been a while, and I've watched so many freaking videos, and I haven't got any sleep in like 2 days. So
It's all right.
no, I've been up probably the past 2 days. Not really. Probably getting like an hour or two of sleep because I'm trying to get our Christmas, podcasts and stuff up, which is kind of weird. Like we got a movie review one, our last movie review one, which is not a Christmas movie at all because we did
Yeah,
all those.
yeah, not everybody's into fucking Christmas movies.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we cover them all. I mean, like Die Hard. Like Die Hard's one of my favorite Christmas movies.
Well, yeah. But I'm just like I feel like I've heard like this debate like every year since I was a kid of like, what's the best Christmas movie? what's the best Christmas movie? You know, I don't know. It's the same debate all the time.
Oh gosh, yeah. It's a debate of the century. What are you?
Yeah.
So what are you guys planning on really doing for Christmas? Where is you and the husband planning on doing?
Well, I'm picking up the puppy tomorrow, so hopefully she does okay and the neighbors don't complain about her. So hopefully she doesn't bark a lot. She's a little sassy.
She's a little cutie. That's what she is.
Oh my god, I fucking died, dude. She fucking kills everybody that walks inside the shop and sees her. Like it's ridiculous. She is a fucking superstar. She really is. She really is. Like it's sad. Like I think like my boss's wife like had her for 2 nights and she cried for 2 hours over the puppy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's that bad, dude. Like you have to like yeah, the pictures are cute, but like when you come into this puppy's presence, like for some reason, like it kills everybody that sees this puppy. It's ridiculous. But she's so chill. She's so chill. She takes it very well. She'll get crowded around and people are all like loving on her and stuff like that, and she's just cool.
Yeah, I have a. Oh, I mean, we had a dog a while back, but I'm not gonna get back into that. It's but I mean, when we first got him, you know, of course, it was kind of like, why do we have this dog here? Because we couldn't really afford to keep him. But then the cuteness kind of sets in. You're like, oh, let's keep him. I want to keep him. I'm gonna let him sleep with me, and then you remember that they pee. So.
Yeah, I mean they do. You know, they're fucking puppies. You know, they don't really know, but she's awesome. Like she starts to pick up really fast.
Yeah, she looks like a smart girl.
Oh, she's really smart.
Yeah, and what'd you guys name her?
Dixie?
Dixie.
Yeah. I don't know. The guy across the street wants to keep her so bad, man. And like, I'm just like, no, that's my puppy.
It's like,
Quit using her as a chick magnet. Thank you. She needs to be a puppy and treated like a baby. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, don't baby her too much now. You know?
Oh no, she's spoiled rotten already, dude. Like, did you see that picture I posted of her sweater that my boss gave her and her new collar?
Yeah, I saw it right before we got on.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you gotta make this dog a lot much cuter already now. It's cute enough. God damn it.
Dude, it's fucking ridiculous. And like people like all volunteer for this dog. Like they're just like, oh yeah, let me know if you need a puppy sitter. Let me know if like you need this for the dog or whatever. I'm just like, god damn, dude. Like this dog has a hold on a lot of people.
It's a dog's masterly plan.
I don't know. Seriously, something. I don't know. Something's weird about this dog. Like I've never seen people like respond this hardcore over a dog. Even me. Because I didn't even want a dog, honestly. Like, I was just like, man, it just takes so much work and all this other stuff. Then I saw this puppy and I was like, well, she won't be by herself. I could take her to work with me. I can do this. I'll take care of her. I clean her poop. Like, blah, 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 blah.
It's like even her shit is so cute.
Oh, God, no, it's not. She just had her shots yesterday and that was raunchy. Because, like, when they get their shots, like, they get diarrhea.
Oh, yikes.
Oh, yeah, that was not cute. She's a fart machine.
Well, aren't most girls? No, I'm kidding.
My husband's more of a fart machine than I am.
Well, aren't most guys? I don't know. With my experience, I mean, I guess the human body can be very disgusting. Anybody's body can be kind of disgusting because I mean, you got bodily fluids going in and out you, and just,
Yeah, I mean it's natural, you know, like that's what mothers have to go through when they deal with your ass when you're a fucking baby, like some nasty ass stuff coming out of your butt.
Yeah, well, my shit was awesome. Okay, it was the most awesome shit ever.
Sure. Sure. Only awesome if it's like chocolate and not poop.
Chocolate covered shit.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know, there's a market for that out in Austria and Germany.
Really? I know there's...
I mean, scat porn, yeah, for sure. Like shit porn, shizer, whatever.
I can't do that either.
I went out to a porn shop in Vienna, Austria, and like you know how like most porn shops you walk into, there's a special interest section, and then you might be able to find something like that on there, you know, like maybe a couple videos, right?
I wouldn't know because I've never actually been to a porn shop.
Oh man, dude, I'm ridiculous, man. Like I would know way too much about all of that shit. Like fucking. Anyways, usually that's like a pretty minimal section compared to like the rest of the porn in the shop. But in Vienna, it was like a whole wall dedicated to shit porn.
My gosh.
Whole wall, like not just a section necessarily, but a whole wall of shit porn. Like,
Well, you could literally go in there and say that's a lot of shit.
There.
That's I don't know. That's kind of falls with the whole. For me, it definitely falls into the whole spitting in the mouth thing too. You know?
Yeah, you know, you know, like spit, you know, is way more acceptable than shit.
True.
You know, they're way more acceptable. I mean, like, if you think about it, when you're making out with somebody, you guys are exchanging spit.
Yeah, true. True.
You know, so I can kind of see that shit. You know, that's so that's okay. You know, but then when you start to take it to another level, where it's coming out of the other end, you know, that's a little too much for me.
Oh yeah.
I don't like the smell of urine. I don't like the smell of shit. So I don't want it in my mouth.
Oh gosh. That's
That's just my logic. I mean, you know,
yeah, shit should go in toilet.
that's like whoever off that might be listening to this, you know, I'm not hating on you, but it's just not my thing.
Yeah. I am hating, but you know, that's just me because I hate the world. No, I don't. I just lost about 30 listeners.
You're not a hateful person at all.
I know.
You're like as mean as a Sanrio character.
Wow.
Just saying.
Thanks.
That goes out to the ladies, man. That's going out to the ladies. You are a soft motherfucker.
Thanks for being my wing woman.
Be sensitive for their romantic needs. Just saying. Listen, this guy's got you. If girls are listening, this guy has got you. He will romance your panties off. What you hear? You hear this? You hear this? That's the sound of panties dropping. Sound of panties dropping.
Oh man.
Okay, just saying that, man.
Okay, put your panties back on. No wait, never mind.
Do it. Send pics. Send this man pictures.
Oh God. we're sure that just the women are getting this, right? Because I don't.
It could be Moody Monday and then Titty Tuesday.
Oh gosh. Yeah, where the fuck did Titty Tuesday come from and Hump Day? Where the fuck that come from?
I think that's like Tumblr, right?
I don't know, because I see that
like a Tumblr thing. Because they do Catterday, and they do some other shit now. Throwback Thursday, Flashback Friday. Fucking. What's Wednesday?
Hump Day.
Well, yeah, I mean, but what are people posting on Wednesday?
I have no clue. Usually I just try to repost and post
Sunday
some nerdy stuff.
Because Sunday is Sundays, you know? So we got that. So, what is it? Monday, we're not completely sure, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Titty Tuesday, we're not sure about Wednesday, Throwback Thursday, Flashback Friday, Catterday, and Sundays. So we haven't really figured out the solid Monday and Wednesday posting theme yet. That's been going on. What we should research this. Someone needs to like market that shit, you know? Make that shit go viral.
Well, they'll just turn them into freaking Hallmark cards.
No. You know what I mean, but like what would be the theme for Monday or Wednesday?
Let's see.
Because if you think about the internet, yes, there's a lot of titties, so we got a day for that. There's a lot of cats, we got a day for that. We got a lot of underwear, we got a day for that. We like old pictures, so we got 2 days for that at least. So what else?
Windy Wednesdays? I don't know.
You like we should do a submission thing, like have people like submit some shit that if they know anything about like what would be a Monday or Wednesday theme or like popular internet themes.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool to do.
Yeah, do a vote. Do a vote. Like what will be Monday's name and what will be Wednesday's name?
I'm actually seriously thinking about this right now.
Right? Right? See?
Wow. That's something I'll put on side and on the books too for 2013 of this, because this won't be up until like 2013.
All right.
So because I mean, end of the year, it's kind of hard to get everything out. Which, by the way, we survived the fucking apocalypse that didn't happen.
I mean, that's no surprise. I mean, like, what people were mainly saying was we're just entering a new aeon.
Yeah,
we are
yeah.
entering the age of Aquarius right now. And it was supposed to be more of a, like, spiritual shift that we're supposed to go through. That's what they say. And they say, like, apparently, like, this whole spiritual shift doesn't go into completion till July or something. I think I read that somewhere. So apparently, like our mental states are gonna kind of change a little bit, slowly till July.
It's kind of scary. Not really, but I mean,
I'm just curious. I'm kind of curious. I'm
yeah.
kind of like oh, I mean, this could be complete malarkey, or but it's also kind of fun just to sit back and watch it. Just to see if like maybe I could be surprised and like there is some sort of global shift going on.
Yeah.
With the way people treat each other.
Well, something was fucking going on the past last fucking week or two have been crazy as shit. So something's definitely shifting.
That's probably, who knows? I mean, like they say like a lot of people are already like on that shift, like for human evolution of like, our behavior and everything. But that's what they're saying. Like this whole age is like the true like global shift where everybody's starting to go on the same page of like how they view people, how and like for the better. Like they say it's supposed to be like a time of like less illusions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So man, that would be really refreshing if people just stop bullshitting.
Oh god, yeah. Because I mean, there's a lot of people that kind of bullshit about different things that are, and it's mostly because they're really just kind of hiding who they really are instead of being truthful.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Like again, I'll try to be as truthful as I can.
Yeah, a lot of people think that I'm kind of a bitch sometimes because I think I'm like too straightforward. Sometimes, I'm just being honest. Like just I'm not trying to waste anyone's time, and I don't want anyone to waste mine.
No, and that's one of the things I kind of I admire about you, because I know you are one of the people. If something I do is really wrong or something, or is kind of bullshitty, you will call it out on me.
Oh yeah, it's bad, dude. It's so bad. Like I know it's bad sometimes, and sometimes it comes off a little harsh to a lot of people. But I mean, I'd rather somebody just know what I'm really thinking. I think that's way better, and I think that builds way more of a trusting relationship with somebody than to like bullshit them and go like, man, I know I asked this person what they thought about this, but I don't think that was the real answer.
Yeah, because it's not the answer that they're expecting at all.
Yeah, the truth. Because I honestly I think it is a waste of time to be bullshitting anyway. Because like whenever you're bullshitting somebody, it starts to turn into like some sort of conversation where you're trying to almost like convince yourself the bullshit that you're running.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to like dance around what you're actually trying to say. It turns into like an hour-long conversation about like what you think about something. Instead of go like, no, I think this is this way and that's it. conversation probably lasts maybe 15 minutes with a debate. People need to waste time, man.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because people don't really want to face the truth about the whole reality thing. I think they kind of just bullshit when it comes to be like, hey, tell me this, and when they find out, it just kind of blows their mind just a little bit, and not in like and it's not the kind of mind blowing that you would expect, basically, or they would expect, and so
Yeah.
people are kind of afraid of. Also, people are also afraid of pretty much change a bit too.
Like real legitimate change.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, look at the past.
That's my survival, though. That's completely my survival. Like, I wouldn't be alive right now if I didn't make changes.
Yeah.
Like dramatic changes, like pure dead survival reasons. Like it's definitely pushed me to points that I don't normally go to.
Yeah, and I'm definitely glad you made those changes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we wouldn't be talking right now if he didn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's lighten this podcast up just a little bit.
Just shit always heavy,
I know. The conversations like this between you and me on Facebook always kind of get like this, though.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, like, but the thing is like, yeah, they're heavy topics, and but the thing is like, if you realize, it's like, when I talk about things like this, I'm not like talking about it in a way where like I'm pitying myself or anything that's happened, like, and I'm not like trying to be a Debbie Downer. In fact, like, I think I have quite a positive outlook about all of that stuff. It's dark, but it's also optimistic.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta like, if you're gonna experience all the dark things in your life, of course you're gonna be able to kind of have the knowledge of it. I mean, you're gonna be able to know a lot more than what other people. Like, I've had some dark stuff. I've had some dark times in my life too, but not. Someone's had way darker times,
Yeah, there's always going to be somebody that's going to have a better time than you, and there's always going to be somebody that's going to have a worse time than you.
Yeah.
Always.
Always.
So you just got to be thankful for whatever it is and just move on through it.
True.
And that can go for anybody.
Well, real quick before we wrap up here, this is traditionally a movie podcast, so I want to know if you have any favorite movies, web series, kind of stuff that you're into, maybe TV, books.
Okay. Let's see, for movies, I really, this is gonna sound lame, but I just don't like going to the movie theaters anymore. I don't really care for that shit.
Not many people do.
I'm just getting sick of all of that stuff, man. Like, just overcharging for some stuff, and like people talking at the movie theater, except maybe if you're in LA, because if you're in LA, people genuinely have respect for the movies that they go to out there. But yeah, I like the classics, like Chasing Amy, or just about anything Kevin Smith, except Jersey Girl. And
wait, why not Jersey Girl? Jersey Girl was pretty good.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
I'm like, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, Jersey Girl was off. No, I can't say that. I like all of his movies.
You say that with a straight face. It didn't last you very long, did it?
No, look at. I mean, I like Jersey Girl though.
It's like saying Barbara Streisand fucking melts my face.
Yeah, if you look at her, melts your face like Indiana Jones style.
Like, she fucking slays, know?
No, she doesn't.
Exactly. Or just like looking at like a picture of the Rolling Stones and go like, oh yeah, who is this? Just shit like that. You can't really say things like that with a straight face for long.
No, not at all. We actually did. Last night actually. I did a my first commentary,
Mm-hmm.
and we did a Kevin Smith film. We did Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
Yeah.
Which actually kind of rounds back up to the whole shitting thing right there, because that's something that
Yeah.
gets shit on in that movie or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that I would have to say that is one of my favorites, but also like definitely not my top favorite for Kevin Smith though, not at all.
No, a lot of people will say whatever, and they'll like go ahead and go with the classic and saying Clerks, but Chasing Amy was definitely my favorite.
Yeah, I like Clerks too, much better than I do like Clerks at all. You know.
I mean, they both have their moments, like it's good. It's
Yeah.
good.
But I think I like it more because of the whole more nerd aspect to it, like the Transformers talk and the Lord of the Rings scene that they have on there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It makes
I was actually a fan of the animated series too.
Oh yeah, I have that on DVD still.
Yeah. Who's driving? Bear is driving.
uh,
Penis.
the two giggling girls asking awkward questions. Um, that
And then, and High Fidelity is one of my favorite movies. Also, that's
yeah,
like my ultimate breakup movie shit right there.
yeah. Jack Black is awesome in that movie. I like him. I just like his voice. I like his singing voice basically.
Yeah, nah, I mean, he was in theater.
Yeah.
Did you remember seeing him in Mr. Show?
I watched a skit that he was in, and I think it was some kind of like it was supposed to make fun of like Jesus's Technicolor Code or something like that.
Dude, he was actually on this show quite a bit. I think, yeah. Like, there was this other one where he was like singing as the devil on stage. Like, don't put your dick in these holes.
I gotta go. I might have to go online and like, cause I'm pretty sure.
I don't understand how you can only watch like a minute amount of Mr. Show skits, because Mr. Show was one of the all-time best series.
Yeah, but when that show was on, I think I was still in elementary school and I was more focused on fucking Power Rangers. So.
Man, whatever. You can still go back to that shit because that shit's still funny.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone back to shows.
It's like watching Kids in the Hall.
Yeah.
Because that shit is always funny. That is the only time I had like a complete like fan moment. Oh, 2 times. Only 2 times I had a complete fanned out moment where I just couldn't even like talk. Because I've like met celebrities or like musicians that are like very well known before, and like I'm kind of like whatever, they're just normal people. But when I saw Scott Thompson walk by me, I was just like, whoa, no words. I was like, does this guy have any idea how much I grew up to his face? Like I grew up watching Kids in the Hall, so I was like, wow. It's almost like going like, you don't know this, but we're kind of family. It's like, fuck. And then Mike Mignola. When I met Mike Mignola, I totally fanned out.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was it? What channel does it on now? They have these kind of like best of things on YouTube that the Nerdist channel does now, and one of the shows that they do every week is Kids in a Hall. So they'll go back, they'll do an interview, they'll show the skit, and then they'll do an interview with the guys who either wrote the skit or in the skit that they did. Like one I saw was a kid bring home one of the guys that plays a kid who brings home a lawyer or a businessman, a Wall Street businessman, keeps him as a pet or something, and they're basically just keeps him in a pet, but then he has to like let him go into the wild with all the other businessmen and to into the streets basically to do all the Wall Street business and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh God.
And then let's see. I don't think I've had that fan moment yet, and I kind of want to hold off on it because the two guys that I'm really fans of right now, of course, Kevin Smith. There's the other guy, Chris Hardwick, who's the host of the Nerdist podcast. If you remember him, he was the host of Singled Out on MTV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, those are like I feel like if I met those two and I sat down and did a podcast with them, I'd, I like it's kind of like I don't want I know I want them to I want to do it, but I don't want to do it because I don't want it to go all downhill from here, because I don't want that to be the climax moment, you know. So but yeah, like what about TV shows? What kind of TV shows are you into now? Going into?
Um, I just keep it classic also with TV. I can't really stand new TV shows anymore. They're pretty annoying and depressing. It kind of makes me sad about where a lot of other people live their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fucking Honey Boo Boo shit. Like,
Oh my God! Don't get me started. Is it weird that I want to?
you know what I'm talking about when I see shows like that randomly, I'm like I can't believe this is how human beings are.
It's like okay, I'd never really wanted to
And I'm a
punch
nut.
a little girl, but
I don't live a perfect life, whatever. But fuck, that's just like going beyond common sense. And I constantly go back and say like, oh man, this is like idiocracy.
yeah, it's
I say that too much. Like I say that too much when I see TV. I'm like, man, this is like idiocracy. Like,
yeah.
we're just like evolving to be like fucking cows.
Oh
You
God,
know,
I hope not.
we haven't gotten any more intelligent over time. We can't credit it on the advances of our science because that's just only like a handful of smart people that's really coming up with that shit.
Yeah.
Probably not even from America at that matter. You know,
God,
just saying.
that's crazy. That Honey Boo Boo thing just. Uh
Yeah, see, I can't watch TV shows and I see shit like that. I'm like, man, I don't even want to watch like a good TV show or try to figure out if a TV show is good on TV because I can't stand flipping through that shit.
I know for.
Thrones. I did watch Game of Thrones.
Why is everybody watching Game of Thrones? Everybody keeps telling me to watch Game of
No,
Thrones.
okay. People can talk shit all they want to, whatever, but fucking Game of Thrones is slow as fuck. Okay, uh, it's slow. It's cool. It's cool in the sense that it's like very involved and it's intricate and like it totally is like a wet dream for Dungeons and Dragons nerds.
Mm-hmm.
I could say so because I used to play Dungeons and Dragons, so whatever.
Nerd. No, I'm kidding.
But it's so fucking slow. I'm too ADD for that shit. Like I'm just like, man, can we get less? Patton Oswalt said it the best. He's like, can we get less talky and more stabby? It was like so on point about that. I was like, yes, that's exactly how I feel when I watch this show. I'm like, stop talking, fucking kill people, please. Like, this is why I'm watching this show. I want to see some slaying. This is why I played Dungeons and Dragons, is because like I wanted to fucking slay some shit. This is why people start LARPing, because they just want to pretend they're slaying shit.
Yeah, which I've never done LARPing before.
I've never done LARPing, but I dated a guy who did.
Oh, that must have been interesting.
Yeah, whatever. I was a supportive girlfriend. I don't care.
It's like I did my time.
Like, do whatever you need to do to feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
Well, as long as you make me feel good, it's great. I don't care.
I know for me, TV wise, like I'll watch TV here and there. I'll stay away from reality shows except Comic Book Men because, me, Kevin Smith, big Kevin Smith fan.
I mean, obvious. It's kind of a giveaway.
Well, I am wearing a Star Wars hat. And yeah. But I'll watch a show from here. Like I'll watch The Walking Dead, pretty much. But that's like only 13 episodes per season, almost, I want to say. And then I'll watch something like Doctor Who, which is also like 13 episodes per season.
Me too. Yeah, whatevs.
Yeah, whatevs. But I'll like the one thing I haven't watched Game of Thrones yet because I just haven't really had an interest into it. I got kind of pushed into watching True Blood.
Okay. I fucking love True Blood, okay? Whatever. People, yeah, it is cheesy, but they do it intentionally to be cheesy, you
Mm-hmm.
know? It's just, they're just being cheeky, okay? If you don't get it, then you're retarded. Um, and two, it's directed by the same guy from 6 Feet Under, okay? That was like one of the best fucking series that came out, other than The Wire.
What's
But
coming?
I am mad at True Blood.
Why?
Okay, the last season that I just saw, like I was like getting into it and shit, and then I was like, oh man, how are they gonna wrap this up? How are they gonna wrap this up? Like this is getting intense, man. Like I want to know what's gonna happen, before they end the season. I watched the season finale with another True Blood fan of mine, right? And at the end of the show, we looked at each other like with a blank stare, and seriously, it was like paying is for me like it was like paying a male prostitute to like fuck me, but all he did was just jerk off and then walk out of the room.
It's like here.
Yeah, yeah. That's how the finale of True Blood made me feel like.
It was this
I
past
paid
finale.
her to
Was it?
fuck me so I can get off, and just jerks off and leaves.
Wow. Well, it was this past finale.
Yeah,
Oh
recent.
gosh.
Dude,
Yeah.
I was so bummed. Like so bummed. Like, how could you do me like that, True Blood? I stayed true and solid to you since before your show even came out at San Diego Comic-Con. I saw True Blood flyers everywhere before the show released, and I was like, oh fuck, what is this? This is gonna be cool. So I've been a fan for that long, and then this is how they treat me. Was giving me a fucking jizz pile of sadness.
Yeah. Just coming on your back and not even just leaving.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, like for me, when I first saw, first saw like the flyers and trailers or whatever, and I thought it was gonna be like I was like, oh shit, another Twilight thing or whatever, because I was like, because back then it was still Twilight was pretty new, people were still getting into it
And
pretty
that
much.
shit. And fuck Twilight.
Thank you.
And I don't give a fuck. Like that shit. Okay, if you're not a 14-year-old girl and you're into Twilight, you really need to either start looking into sexuality if you're not already comfortable with you being a gay man, or you probably into like little boys if you're a grown woman.
Jeez.
You know,
Yeah.
that's it's just the fuck is that shit?
It was crazy as hell because all these fucking moms were going crazy over what's his face, the
I didn't even know what the hell was going on with the Team Edward shit for the longest time. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, who's Team Edward? Who is Edward? You know? And then I find out about this shit. I'm like, this shit is fucking lame. You know? It's like this is what you guys pump out with, like after something like Harry Potter, you know? Which
Yeah.
Harry Potter was a children's book, but it actually is legitimately cool for adults, you know?
Yeah, it got darker. See, as Harry Potter, it started out light, but it got darker towards the books and the movies towards the end.
Yeah, I mean it did, and that's fine, like it was a cool story. But Twilight, like really, really, if you really need your teenage girl to be like masturbating to some garbage, like just fucking give her some fucking porn. Maybe she might make use out of that later in life, you know? But Twilight is in no way good for anybody's life.
No.
At any point in their life. Yeah.
Yeah, but you gotta wonder though, like the way we kind of think about that. I wonder if people like when Buffy Vampire Slayer came out and it had the whole Angel Spike and Buffy thing or whatever triangle going on. You had to kind of wonder.
That was cool though. That was cool because like they didn't try to it wasn't really so much like an adult following.
No.
With Buffy. You knew that was a totally like teen thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was a clear message that was totally teen. But when I see shit like Twilight, when I see grown ass women, getting into that shit, or like the whole Justin Bieber shit, where grown ass women are like crying over this fucking little boy, like That shit's just creepy, dude.
Oh my god,
Stop.
did you hear what happened to him though? Some guys, I heard this on one of the other podcasts, Hollywood Babylon. Some guys tried to plan a kidnapping for him just to castrate him and kill him.
I mean, there's crazy people out there, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying like hate on Justin Bieber and all this other shit like that or whatever. That's totally great for teenage girls, you know? But quit selling it to fucking adults. Like shit like this. Quit selling it to adults. Like, I feel like Justin Bieber is just like a male version of what Britney Spears was.
Oh god.
You know? It's like it's in no way acceptable for grown ass men to be like watching Britney Spears as a schoolgirl when she was only 17 years old and sexualizing her. You know, that young.
Yeah. I
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that was like you.
There should be like a line of like who you're marketing to.
That's true.
Like quit packaging teenage and adults together.
Yeah, and I mean that's kind of like you see how the like the celebrities that were like teen stars or whatever kind of grew up kind of screwed up now.
Yeah.
You know, it's like look at not even look at Corey Feldman, look at fucking Britney Spears. Look what the fuck she went through.
Yeah, I mean it fucks your head up what like being exposed to like a very adult environment as a teenager.
Yeah.
And the other way around and exposing teenagers who are in adult environments like that. Like that's just all fucked up all the way around, you know. And I thought I had it bad having to go and look at like Calvin Klein ads when I was like a adolescent girl, you know, because I had an eating disorder when I was like young.
Yikes.
Yeah, I was like anorexic and bulimic. Like I was like rail thin. Like I was very unhealthy, you know, because I always thought I was fat, you know. It was bad. Just from looking at ads like that and like no idea what some of these girls are probably thinking looking at the shit that's out there right now. You know? The shit that's out there like now than like how it was for me then, like it's just like even more extreme. Like I have no idea how like the next generation is gonna come out.
No, not at all.
You know, I totally sound like an old lady right now, but like I really am like worried about where our society's going.
It's true. I have to worry about that myself because I mean I have, like I said, I got a little sister, I got a little brother, and they're much younger than me, and I gotta kind of pretty much watch what they watch. Like they want to watch something, you know, I want to watch, or you know, they want to watch something that their father will let them watch, or something like that. I mean, and it kind of messes with their head a little bit, you know, not too much to the point where it's like, hey, I might do this.
That's also what kind of movies we're talking about too, because like there's like this like line that fucking scumbags that come out with like garbage movies, you know, for teenagers, and art, you know, because like there's also films that are totally okay for I think like even kids to be watching, you know, with nudity or violence on it, you know, but if as long as it's like a movie that shows everything in a mature light, like I think it's totally acceptable. Like a very artistic film is totally acceptable for kids or teenagers to watch, you know? Like I feel like parents really need to take their time and like review movies before actually even showing them, you know? Like their kids. Like what kind of garbage are you feeding your kid, you know? Cuz like there's also movies that don't show nudity or violence, but the message that's being fed to them is far worse for their heads in life than like seeing some titties.
Yeah.
You know? Like that's I think that's like common sense also. You know, like why is this whole debate with like the whole censorship shit? Like why don't you actually like start doing quality?
Yeah, I mean it's really
quality control over censorship any day.
Yeah, I mean even with censorship, it's more about like what the hell the parents are letting them watch anyway than anything. Only you could pretty much protect your kid from watching whatever the hell you watch or listening to whatever you want, you know, they want, not the companies, whatever the company's fucking doing.
I mean, of course, kids are gonna rebel too. You know, they're like, ultimately, kids are gonna watch whatever the hell they're gonna watch. You know, if they really want to see something, they're gonna go over to somebody else's house and watch it. You know, or listen to something, or like be exposed to something. People are just gonna always just be exposed to like some fucked up shit. You know, from when they're young.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how much you try to protect and shelter them, they're always gonna be exposed to some fucked up shit. But like, I just feel like there should be more discussion between the kid and their parents, about what is really going on with the shit that they're being exposed to.
Mm-hmm. Well, fuck. Ow, sorry. I just hurt my foot. God damn it, it hurt really badly. Ginger, help me, it hurt.
Oh,
No, I think we're gonna wrap up because I feel like if we kept going, I would have to have like a 3-hour podcast on me, and I don't want to cut that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's good. We'll just say.
Okay. Have you been reading that book?
Fuck, I knew it. I've been trying. But I swear I'll get to it. Okay.
Dude, seriously, read it. And for anybody else out there, anybody else, like, if you're just, like, ready to, like, have a new perspective in your life, please read this book. It's called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Like, it does wonders. It's, like, a very powerfully charged book. I recommend it to anybody.
Yeah, I mean, the first chapter actually did kind of, hold my gaze. And I was like, wow.
Dude, this book will fucking punch you in the goddamn face. Just saying.
Mentally, right? Not literally.
Yeah, mentally it will. It's a very powerful book. Like, especially if you're like somebody that's probably read something like The Alchemist and was at all moved by a book like that. Like, this is like a book that's more intricate. Like, way more intricate. If you enjoyed Alchemist, it's not so much story based as it is discussion based.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, well, I promise you that I will. I'll finish it by the end of January.
Okay, it's on.
It's on. It's on. I called it. You guys heard it first.
It's fucking on. This guy better be reading this book, and he better give me a book report.
Oh, I don't want to write it. Can I just give you a book report podcast? I don't feel like writing that shit out.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. I will come back on the show whenever you read that book.
All right. Do you want to plug yourself real quick? Plug.
Feel free to check out my Instagram or blog. You could usually find me as Meet Ginzilla, as in MEETGINZILLA.com. And anyways, thanks for listening to me talk about some random crazy shit. And hopefully this went well and your listeners enjoyed it.
Yeah. No, it didn't go well at all. I'm sorry. You got to do this over again. Sorry.
Yeah, whatever. Get the fuck out of here.
And then she shows her true colors. All right. For the Evil Teddy Bear podcast, this is Corey. You guys keep on watching movies, guys, and do stuff. I'm going to go look at porn now. Bye.
Peace.
This has been an Evil Teddy Bear production.